Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And also thank you very much for the committee to invite me present in this online seminar. I'm really happy to have this moment. Uh, Actually, our research is related new innovations for seaweed cultivations. And then for this time, I would like to present a novel method for protecting Kappaphycus alvarezii from predators. My name is Maruf Kasim. I'm professor in Faculty of Fishery and Marine Science, Halu Oleo University. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the introductions of our research we know that Kappaphycus alvarezii is mostly cultivated by coastal community in Indonesia. Almost all the village located in the coastal area in Indonesia, the people was cultivate the seaweed for the activity, daily activity. This is because of the seaweed cultivation is very simple method and using the also low capital, only using the rope and buoyants, and they have designed the long line with the very simple and tie the tally of the seaweed, tally of the Kappaphycus, and let it until 45 days they can harvest it, and after that they can dry it in the near the coastal area or something, sometimes near the road, and after that they can cleaning up it and then sell it to get the money. So that is very, very simple method. The very short period, only 45 days. This is the very, very promise to get, that is a very short period to get money. So that's why this is the main reason for the people for who want to cultivate this seaweed. So that's why mostly of the coastal area, you can find seaweed activity there. And yeah, if you, that is in most village, you can found dry, they are hang it in the near the coastal area, sometimes near the road, and so maybe because of the very simple method make this seaweed activity is very popular in coastal area in Indonesia. Yeah, actually, there is a very good income guarantee for the coastal community actually. And but you know unfavorable scenery, although you can found in the coastal area, the aside because of the lot of people using a lot of people cultivate the seaweed, you can found sometimes in the village, just in the near the village or in the front of the village, that is the just near the village, you can find garbage, a lot of garbage in the surface of the coastal area. And because of the using the used bottle, and that is for the buoyance of the this is a long line method. So that's why you can find leaking plastic bottle are also you can found in the even surface, sometimes also in the bottom of the water. So yeah, improper arrangements and this for the long rope, and then sometimes it's very, very but few in the front area. Perhaps this is because of the very simple that's a very simple method, and then using the used bottle. This is the another problem that we can found in coastal area in Indonesia. And also you can find that a lot of problem like epiphyt and ice disease, epifaun, and yeah, that is the epiphyt is really cover, sometimes cover the seaweed, so it was decrease the productions. And also ice disease, ice disease is really, really make farmers frustrated. I mean, sometimes they only have the growth of the seaweed cannot be. I mean, that is cannot be grow anymore for the seaweed, and this is really make a serious problem for the farmers. And another main problem is, I mean, that is the few. I mean that if they are only put the 100 gram for example, maybe, and they are only, yeah, sometimes the seaweed cannot grow properly. I mean, only few seaweed can grow in well, but mostly cannot be grow. After we have a research, then we found that the actually in the water column, the seaweed was grazed by herbivores, particular for the cyganid. Cyganid is a herbivore that every time can graze the seaweed, not only 5 times or 3 times, but every time if they are in the water, then they are found the seaweed and they graze it. If the big fish graze the seaweed, then they eat the young talus. But if the small fish eat or graze the seaweed, they only graze the surface. But because of the teeth, then the seaweed was become white and pale and die. So this is really problem. This is really problematic found in the coastal area in Indonesia. And during our research, we found that 60% of the productions in every time, in every harvesting time was decreased. I mean that productions was decreased 60%. That is, this is for our research. We don't know in another research. Then I believe that this problem is not only for in Indonesia, but also in all area that they have cultivated this seaweed, that this problem was occurs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our research was conducted in Lakeba coastal area, one of the a lot of I mean that is one of the area that have a lot of seaweed cultivations activity there, and then this is locations in eastern Indonesia, particularly in southeast Indonesia, southeast Sulawesi in eastern Indonesia, because this area is one of the Indonesian seaweed development center. I mean, and this is the Kappaphycus alvarezii. This is seaweed that we are using in our research. Yeah, this is you can found that this in mostly area in the coastal area. This is our research, and this center in Indonesia. This is have Southeast Sulawesi, and in Southeast Sulawesi they have Bau-Bau. I mean, this is the one of the very good locations for the seaweed cultivations activity. So that's why we choose this locations for the our research. And for the result, actually, we have for the seaweed cultivations, for I mean the for the Kappaphycus cultivations, we are using the floating cage to produce the good growth rate with no effect of the herbivore attack. Then they have we have four variant of floating cage that we develop, including the horizontal net, and then vertical net, and basket net, and long net. This for variant is we are developed from the our previously research. This is the previous research we found the floating cage, the big floating cage that we they have we have a patent for this, and then this is the second. I mean the design, and after we design this two method, then we develop become very simple. This is very I mean that is expensive method, but we try to develop the very cheaper method. That the first one is basket net. Basket net, they have also patent for this basket net. They have a cycle, and then using like I mean that is we have using the water column for cultivate the seaweed. We have put it inside the basket net, and yeah, we are let it until 45 days for harvest time. And Also, this is the vertical net. Vertical net is one of our design that is really, really also cheaper compared than our previously research. Then this is we call horizontal net because vertical net because they have using the water column for seaweed cultivate, yeah, for the to cultivate the seaweed. And another one is horizontal net. We call it horinet. A horizontal net is one design that is very, very good for area with high current because this is very tough. And even though they have a lot of, I mean that they have a big wave, then they can use this design. And also another design is very cheaper also is long net, long line net. I mean that is maybe because we compare the long net, long line, then we can use net to use in 10 meters long. So we give a name for this design is a long net. They can protect inside the seaweed inside the net, and the seaweed can grow well. Okay, for the statistical analysis, I mean that is for the research for the growth, specific growth rate of this research is actually for the for floating cage variant. We analysis, we get the growth result that were no different actually for this growth rate. I mean for specific growth rate for this variant. For this, I mean for the horizontal net, the average is around 4, and for the basket net also sometimes you also this is around the 4 also. And then uh, for the vertical net, this is also around the 4, and long net also around the 4. So after we try to analyze in statistical analysis, all the average of specific growth rate is 4.6% per day. Of course, this is it's similar in all variation, all variant of this method. So in this research, it's appear that the even though the horizontal net little bit a little bit high than another method, but in statistically they have no different. And yeah, the horizontal net make good use for the water surface, and it's very good also for the high flow, high current, and compare than vertical net or another another research. Actually, during our research is the more different where cause of the shape of the number of the talus we saw that the growth is very good inside the cage, and this is was because of the talus cultivate in floating cage is look good compared the long line that is yeah, we can found sometimes they are I mean that is white and dye. That is for the comparisons of the view of the talus. If we compare from floating cage and long line, and for we try to analyze the growth of the comparison of the growth total in 5 kilo. The production is from 5 kilo. If we the for the method of the horizontal net from 5 kilo, we after 40 days we can that is become 90.2 kilogram. For the long line, from 5 kilo, it become 12.72 kilogram. This is the comparison. The comparison between this horizontal net and for the long line. I mean that is yeah, the growth of Kappaphycus alvarezii is different for this research. I mean for the different of those method. And For we try also to compare the talus. I mean the average of the talus from 100 gram in each seed of the seaweed. Yeah, each of the seaweed. There are actually also different between cultivations method, both of method in floating cage and long line, and within initial 100 gram of the weight, it was changed become 700 and 758 kilo for the floating cage, and from 100 gram for the long line it become 488 gram for long line. So it could be reach an average. I mean that is half of the productions from the 100 to become 700 and 100 to become 400. So it's different. It statistically is very significant different. The difference between this actually not only actually in the mostly in natural, but not only for not only one factor, but in this research we are really focused only for the effect of the floating cage using for the seaweed growth. And yeah, we try also to found the variations of the specific growth rate in each month, in every month from April, May, June, July, August, and September. We found that no different. I mean, actually, during July and August, while the fish is very dense in coastal in near the coastal cultivations area, the specific growth rate, if we are using the floating cage, I mean, particular for the horizontal net, the specific growth rate is still high compared than long line. This is the difference. I mean, during July, June, July, and August is the very high growth of the seaweed. So that's why the difference between this method is really significant. And also, if we try to looking at the growth from 50 gram to from 50 gram after 45 days in each month, actually, yeah, I mean, for the each month, that is really very different. Yeah, the result of specific growth rate, the result of the growth of the new talus per month during this research from the May to October is that in each variations it's quite different between two methods. I mean, however, these variations in this not provide a significant different in each month. But if we compare with the from the long, I mean that the floating cage and long line, they have a different. Particular the growth from the May to July, it seems to be different. But I mean that the different with between the growth of during September to October, and this can expected that the present of the herbivore. I mean during August to September, or sometimes in late July to early September. This is the high dense of the herbivore occurs here. But you know, if even though they have a lot of fish appears in the coastal area, I mean near the seaweed cultivations area, but the growth rate of the seaweed during this period is still high. So that's why it's no effect of the occurrence of the seaweed or herbivores in this area. However, it look the different between floating cage and long lines in every month. It appears that they have 2 monthly significant difference in the growth rate of the seaweed, and it can be expected that the presence of herbivore attack of the seaweed it's we cannot found in this month during our research. And so the conclusions of our research during for this presentations is the floating cage variant can protect Kappaphycus alvarezii from various attack of the herbivore fish, and there are no different in the growth rate of the Kappaphycus alvarezii cultivated using its variant of the cage, and there is a significant difference in growth rate of the Kappaphycus alvarezii cultivated using the horizontal net and long line method. And also before I close my presentation, I would like to show you this is our documentation for our research. We try to count and every talus, and then sometimes also try to analyze the environmental variations, environmental factors, and then this is the view below water of the basket net and horizontal net, vertical net. This is, and also this is, we can also mix from between the horizontal net and basket net, and the growth. You can show the this is the growth of the new talus using the floating cage is really good compared than using the long line one. So thank you very much for all. I hope this informations can give you much more information related the seaweed cultivation method, particular for our innovations. And if you have questions, then I really happy to explain for you for our research. Thank you very much for all. Uh, Thank you very much.